Welcome to Farmer's Kitchen, a video series of storage and cooking techniques to make the most of your farm share. My name is Carmen, one of the farm directors here at Arden, and before we get started, we'd like to give special thanks to D.R. Horton for allowing us to use this beautiful kitchen in their Sydney model. All right, let's get started. Today we're talking about root veggies. These include turnips, beets, carrots, and radishes. All things that you would typically see in your farm share. When you first get home with your farm share, it's really important that you store things properly so that you have the optimum amount of time to be able to use all the ingredients later on. So with root veggies, what that means is you want to separate the root from the leaf. So as soon as you get home, simply take a knife and cut above the rubber band and remove the leaves. There you go. All right. To store your greens, you're going to want to wash them first and remove the water. And we do that by using a salad spinner. If you don't have one of these yet, we highly recommend them because it'll come in super handy for processing your farm share. So you stick your greens in a strainer. It's basically a strainer in a bowl, and you fill it up with water. Trip and I dunk and spray off the root veggies before you get them, but sometimes there is some trapped dirt. All right. After you've got them submerged and shaken up a bit, strain off the water, dump it out from the bowl, and then this is an important step, why the salad spinner is so awesome. You have to remove the water from the leaves. If the leaves are wet, they won't last as long in your refrigerator. So the salad spinner slings the water off. I like a salad spinner that's got a little stop button. If you find one like that, makes it go quicker. And then you dump off the water. The next thing that you'll want to do, you can either use a Tupperware or a Ziploc bag. Put some paper towels at the bottom to soak up excess moisture, and then simply lay the leaves in there. And then they're clean and ready to use whenever you want to do a recipe. And you close it up. Similarly, if you're using a Ziploc bag, lay some paper towels on the inside, and then put the leaves on top. And then it's good to kind of remove a little bit of the air, flatten it out a bit. There you go, all set for your fridge. To store the root part of the vegetable, they'll last longer if you stick them in a plastic bag. So that could be a leftover plastic grocery bag or a Ziploc bag, but you could simply put them in just like this in your crisper, and that way they will last the longest. All right, let's start talking about fun ways to cook with these vegetables. With turnips, particularly this variety, Hikuri turnips, they're really good raw or cooked. So if you're gonna cook them, you could either roast them or you can saute them. And you'll notice that you'll get ones in your bunches that are different sizes. So the important thing when you're cooking them is that you cut them so they're all relatively the same size so that they cook at the same speed. We like roasting them. If you roast them, toss them in some olive oil, salt, pepper, maybe you like garlic or onion powder, paprika, cayenne pepper, spices of your choice, and then put them on a baking sheet and roast them at 420 for about 15-20 minutes, stirring them halfway through. So what you'll want to do is take off the remaining stems. You can take off that little root. And then since this is a smaller one, I would just maybe cut this one in bite-sized pieces in quarters, like that. And then a really big one, you'll obviously have to cut it up into a few smaller sizes so that they are gonna cook at the same rate as the smaller turnip. So maybe go in half, and half again, like that. So the chunks are all relatively the same. Folks might be more familiar with the purple top turnip. Those are more commonly seen in grocery stores. But these particular turnips are salad turnips, so they're super mild and they're delicious. Cooking tends to make them even more mild. So if I were to saute or roast them, I would do them in bite-sized chunks like this. They're really good, great added to curries and different sauteed dishes, just like that. And if I'm gonna make a salad with them, I don't wanna have a giant chunk like that. So what I would do is similarly take off the stem, the little root. You kind of have two options. You can do like little thin circle slices, so they're really light and delicate, like this. This is still too big to chew, so I might cut it in half and maybe in half again. So you get really nice thin slices like that. But the other option you have for salads is doing matchsticks. So you cut a thin slice and then do just tiny little rectangular slices like that. And that's really easy to chew and adds a really fun, bright texture to your salad. All right, so those are the 3 ways that you can cook and use your salad turnips. They are absolutely delicious, and I encourage you to try them if you're not accustomed to using them. And now for the greens. So we already have our fresh greens packaged. They're edible as well. You can add them to soups, you can add them to stews, or you can eat it as like a side of braised greens, which is super yummy. So what I would do is take a frying pan, add a little bit of olive oil, and maybe some onions and chopped garlic, saute the greens, and at the end just add a small drizzle of sesame oil, a little bit of rice vinegar, salt, and they are absolutely delicious. All right, let's put them in our fridge. So the other root veggies, beets, carrots, and radishes, you're gonna treat those similarly. Same way for storage and also for cooking. Radish greens tend to be a little bit more pungent. Radishes can be spicy to some people, but if you cook them, roast or saute them, then it makes them really mild and super delicious. On busy days, we love just butter and salt in a frying pan, and it's to die for. All right, that's all today for Farmer's Kitchen. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you next time. Thank you.